Imagine there is a book lost in time that holds the answers to humanity's greatest questions. Who are we? Where did we come from? Where are we going? This book truly exists, and it is called Corpus Hermeticum. For centuries, this collection of texts has been studied by alchemists, philosophers, and seekers of truth. It is said that Hermes Trismegistus, a being half god, half man, was responsible for this work. His words transcended empires, inspired geniuses like Isaac Newton and Giordano Bruno, and laid the foundations for occultism, alchemy, and even modern science. But what makes this book so special? What secrets does it reveal? In this video, we will explore the mysteries of the Corpus Hermeticum, uncover its hidden messages, and discover how this knowledge can transform your life. Get ready for a journey to the source of Hermetic wisdom. Few works in human history carry an aura of mystery as profound as the Corpus Hermeticum. It is not just a book, but a collection of texts that, for centuries, were considered the key to understanding the divine and existence itself. Its origins are lost in the dust of time, in a nebulous zone between myth and reality. The Hermetic texts emerged during a transitional period for the ancient world, the 2nd and 3rd centuries AD. Egypt was still a land imbued with the wisdom of the pharaohs, but it was now under Roman rule. Alexandria, the city of knowledge, housed the greatest lighthouse in the world and also the largest library of antiquity. It was a melting pot of cultures where Greeks, Egyptians, Romans, Jews, and Persians exchanged ideas, blending science, philosophy, and religion. It was in this environment that the texts of the Corpus Hermeticum were born, a collection of spiritual dialogues that claimed to be revelations from Hermes Trismegistus, the master of occult wisdom, the celestial messenger, a teacher of the soul, and the guardian of hidden secrets. His knowledge was believed to be not of this world. Many thought he had lived in the earliest days of Egyptian civilization, and that his teachings were passed down through texts that only the initiated could comprehend. In the work Asclepius, one of the Hermetic treatises, he states, "The Egyptians have always taken care to keep their teachings hidden. Only the wise were worthy of receiving such secrets." His teachings were said to have been written on secret scrolls and kept in the temples of Egypt until they were translated into Greek and spread throughout the Hellenistic world. But what happened to these texts? For centuries, Hermetic knowledge remained restricted to small groups of initiates. With the rise of Christianity in the Roman Empire, esoteric schools began to be persecuted. Many libraries were burned and temples of wisdom were destroyed. When the famous Library of Alexandria was set on fire, much was lost, but some fragments survived. The Hermetic writings were hidden in monasteries, preserved by sages who knew that one day the world would be ready to receive them again. That day arrived in the 15th century during the Renaissance. The year was 1460. A monk named Leonardo da Pistoia was sent to Constantinople by the patron of art and philosophy, Cosimo de' Medici. Leonardo's mission was to find ancient manuscripts that had been lost in the West. In a Byzantine library, he made an astonishing discovery, a collection of texts written in Greek, attributed to Hermes Trismegistus. Understanding the value of these writings, he brought the manuscripts to Florence, where they were about to change the destiny of Europe. Cosimo de' Medici entrusted the translation of the text to one of his greatest intellectuals, Marsilio Ficino. At the time, Ficino was already busy translating the works of Plato, but Cosimo gave him a new order. Stop everything and translate Hermes first. Why such urgency? Because Renaissance scholars believed that the Corpus Hermeticum contained the key to understanding the mysteries of the universe. Ficino translated the text from Greek into Latin, making them accessible to scholars of the time. The impact was immediate. The Corpus Hermeticum reignited interest in occultism, influencing alchemists, astronomers, and philosophers. Giordano Bruno, one of the great mystics of the Renaissance, based his ideas on Hermeticism. Isaac Newton, one of the fathers of modern science, studied alchemy and was fascinated by Hermetic thought. The rediscovery of the Corpus Hermeticum laid the foundation for what would become the Western esoteric tradition. But what exactly did these texts say? Hermes Trismegistus does not merely speculate about the universe. He reveals knowledge that presents itself as an invitation to inner transformation. His dialogues are enigmatic, sometimes obscure, but they carry wisdom that transcends time. At the heart of his teachings, we find a cosmic vision where the divine and the human are not separate. The first and most striking Hermetic principle is the idea that everything in the universe is one. Nothing exists in isolation, and the separation between matter and spirit is merely an illusion of limited perception. In the first treatise of the Corpus Hermeticum, known as Poimandres, Hermes receives a revelation from a being of light, which tells him, "The all is one, and the one is the all. Everything that exists is contained within it, and it is contained within everything that exists." The central idea here is that the universe is not a random creation, nor a collection of disconnected events. There is an underlying intelligence, a cosmic mind that permeates all existence. This concept is reminiscent of the logos of Greek philosophers or the Brahman of Hindu tradition. Hermes teaches that the human being is not just an observer of the cosmos, he is an active part of this great intelligence. But how can one access this truth? How can one perceive this unity? Hermes' answer is clear: through self-knowledge. He states that the common man lives trapped in illusions, believing that he is merely a body, a collection of desires and fears. However, the one who awakens realizes that his essence is divine. You are light and life like God, if you so will it. For man is a mortal God, and God is an immortal man. This statement echoes many spiritual traditions throughout history. Hermes Trismegistus suggests that there is no real separation between the human and the divine. What exists in reality is forgetfulness. The human being has fallen into the material world and forgotten his true nature. However, Hermes does not teach a path of escape from the world. He does not preach that one must reject matter to attain the spirit. On the contrary, he affirms that everything is part of the same divine reality. Matter and spirit are manifestations of the same primordial energy. The secret lies in learning to see the divine in all things. Another fundamental teaching of the Corpus Hermeticum is the power of the mind. Hermes explains that the human mind is a reflection of the divine mind. Thought has the power to shape reality. This directly connects with the Hermetic principle of mentalism. The all is mine. The idea that the universe is mental has profound implications. If everything is mind, then what we think and believe directly influences our experience. This explains why the ancient Hermeticists dedicated so much time to the study of contemplation and meditation. The secret to transforming life is not in manipulating the external world, but in transforming the internal mind. Understanding the teachings of the Corpus Hermeticum allows us to see that the mysteries of the universe are, in truth, the mysteries of our own consciousness. The macrocosm and the microcosm mirror each other. As above, so below. Hermes invites us to look beyond appearances and see the hidden truth behind everything. But this truth cannot be found only through intellect. It must be lived and experienced. The Hermetic path is not just a theory. It is a journey of awakening. Hermes Trismegistus does not merely discuss theories about the universe. He provides a path for the seeker to awaken their true nature and attain enlightenment. But what does this enlightenment mean? For Hermes, it is the realization of unity with the all. In the Corpus Hermeticum, Hermes describes this journey as a process of ascension. The seeker begins trapped in the material world, blinded by passions and the senses. But through the awakening of consciousness, they ascend toward the divine. This path is not taken with the feet, but with the mind and heart. It is a journey of detachment, understanding, and remembrance of what has always been true. The first step toward enlightenment is self-knowledge. Hermes teaches that those who wish to understand the universe must first understand themselves. This means looking inward with honesty, recognizing the illusions that imprison us, and understanding that our true essence is not limited to the body or the ego. In one of his dialogues, he states, "The man who knows himself becomes like God, for within him dwells the spark of the all." But self-knowledge alone is not enough. Hermes teaches that the seeker must learn to control their lower passions and desires. This does not mean repressing or denying earthly experiences, but rather learning not to be enslaved by them. The mind must become serene, like a still lake reflecting the light of truth without distortion. To reach this state, the Hermetic practitioner must cultivate wisdom and virtue. Hermes speaks of the importance of purity of thought, integrity of character, and detachment from worldly illusions. He teaches that the true sage is not one who possesses intellectual knowledge, but one who lives according to divine principles. In the Corpus Hermeticum, there is a central concept called spiritual rebirth. Hermes explains that enlightenment is not merely learning, but an internal rebirth. The seeker must die to the world of illusions and be reborn into a new perception of reality. This rebirth is not physical, but mental and spiritual. Hermes describes this moment as an explosion of light within consciousness, a sudden recognition of the supreme truth. O child, when you understand that you yourself are light and life, then you will enter the path of immortality. This state of enlightenment is not something distant or reserved for a chosen few. Hermes teaches that anyone who sincerely seeks the truth and strives on the path can attain it. But the price of this realization is total surrender. The ego must be dissolved, attachment to the material world must be transcended, and the mind must be open to receiving divine wisdom. This path is not easy. Many fall into the traps of spiritual pride, believing they have already reached enlightenment when, in reality, they are still ensnared by the illusions of the ego. True enlightenment does not bring arrogance, but humility. The Hermetic sage does not seek to display their knowledge, but to live in harmony with the all. The path to enlightenment, according to the Corpus Hermeticum, cannot be taught through fixed formulas or rituals. Each seeker must walk their own journey, guided by intuition and connection with the divine. However, the principles are universal: self-knowledge, purification, detachment, contemplation, and ultimately, union with the all. In the next chapter, we will explore how these teachings have been applied throughout history and how they have shaped esoteric thought, influencing everyone from alchemists to modern scientists. Hermetic knowledge was not confined to ancient manuscripts. It remains alive, waiting for those who wish to awaken. The teachings of Hermes Trismegistus have transcended centuries, shaped esoteric traditions, influenced alchemists and scientists, and continue to echo in the modern world. The Hermetic legacy is not just a set of philosophical ideas, but a key to understanding the relationship between humanity and the universe. When Marsilio Ficino translated the Corpus Hermeticum in the 15th century, he reignited a flame that had lain dormant since antiquity. The Renaissance was a period of rediscovery of hidden knowledge, and Hermetic teachings inspired some of the greatest thinkers of the time. Giordano Bruno, for example, based his cosmic vision on Hermeticism, arguing that the universe was infinite and full of life. His ideas challenged the church, and for this he was condemned to the stake. But his words were not erased. They continued to influence future generations. Another great scholar of Hermeticism was Isaac Newton. Though remembered primarily for his scientific discoveries, Newton was also an alchemist and a deep student of the Hermetic tradition. In his personal writings, he studied the relationship between spirit and matter, believing that the universe was governed by hidden principles. For Newton, science and spirituality were not opposites, but two paths to understanding the same truth. Alchemy, which flourished in the Middle Ages and the Renaissance, has its roots in Hermeticism. Alchemists were not merely seeking to transform lead into gold, but to achieve the magnum opus, the spiritual transmutation of the human being. The Hermetic principle, as above, so below, was the foundation of their experiments. They believed that by understanding the secrets of nature, they could also understand the secrets of the soul. In the 19th century, Hermeticism resurged with force in the European occult movement. Societies such as the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn sought to recover the teachings of Hermes Trismegistus and apply them in rituals and spiritual practices. This movement influenced major figures in modern occultism, such as Aleister Crowley and Franz Bardon, who incorporated Hermetic principles into their own systems of magic. However, Hermeticism did not remain confined to esoteric circles. Its influence can also be seen in modern psychology. Carl Jung, the great scholar of the human mind, incorporated Hermetic ideas into his theory of archetypes in the collective unconscious. He saw the process of individuation, the journey to the wholeness of being, as a path similar to the spiritual alchemy of the ancient Hermetists. In contemporary times, Hermetic concepts continue to inspire thinkers, scientists, and spiritual seekers. The idea that the universe is mental, that reality is shaped by consciousness, resonates with discoveries in quantum physics. The principle of correspondence as within, so without, finds parallels in fractal theory and the interconnectedness of life. Hermeticism has also influenced popular culture. Films like The Matrix explore the idea that reality is an illusion, a profoundly Hermetic concept. Works of fiction, such as those by Paulo Coelho, inspired by alchemy and the spiritual journey, echo the teachings of Hermes Trismegistus. Even the modern concept of manifestation and the popularization of the law of attraction derive from the Hermetic principle of mentalism, the all is mind. But the true legacy of the Corpus Hermeticum is not just in its historical influences. It lies in the transformation of those who come into contact with its teachings. Hermes Trismegistus does not give us dogmas, nor does he impose beliefs. He invites us to seek for ourselves. The legacy of Hermeticism remains alive, offering tools for those who wish to connect more deeply with the cosmos and their own divine essence. If this content resonated with you, don't forget to like, comment, and share this video with those who also seek deeper answers about the universe and spirituality. Your engagement not only helps spread Hermetic wisdom, but also allows us to create more content that unveils the mysteries of existence. Share your reflections in the comments. How have the teachings of Hermes Trismegistus impacted your worldview? Let's continue this journey of discovery and spiritual awakening together. Thank you for watching.